is, what are my core principles, and how I stand in that. And working our core just helps us realign with what is deep within our center. And when we move from our center, everything else seems to flow. And even though it may feel a little heavy at times, there is opportunity to see what's possible within that. So we're going to start lying on your back. So go ahead and lie down. Best way to decompress your day. Now, as you lie back and squeeze your knees into your chest, just give your feet a couple circles, a little bit of flexion and extension. Need to move a kitten out of the way. Ripple will climb in his treehouse to work his core tonight. And then from here, you're going to circle your knees one direction. And then circle your knees in the other direction. As you come back to center, place your feet flat on the floor. You can let the knees fall in or keep them stacked over your ankles. With a little bit of effort, you can keep them in that position. Otherwise, knees fall in, heels push out. Take your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Take a really full breath in here. At the top of your inhale, pause long enough to feel where tension has gathered, maybe your jaw, your shoulders, relax there, and then sigh. And do that again, deep, full breath in. Pause at the very top, maybe even try to sip a little more breath in. And then sigh. Deep, full breath. Hold, shoulders relax, jaw relax, neck and shoulders, sigh. As you allow yourself this time to decompress, to reset, envision your core center. Where is it in your body? For some, it may almost feel as though it resides in your heart. I always invite you to move from your heart center, but at the depth of your heart, we connect, or lower down from your heart, connect to your solar plexus. From your solar plexus down into your abdomen, or what we may refer to as our gut. And your gut has as many connections, neural connections, as your brain. And the connection between the gut and the brain is deep, deeply rooted. So when you have an instinct, something feels off, pay attention, trust it. When you feel out of sorts, go back into what it is you hold true within yourself, who you are at the root. Honor the land in which you're practicing from in your own way here. And connect back to the breath gradually through the nose, inhale. And through the nose, exhale. Keep going with a depth of Ujjayi that starts to feel the power and the strength moving from your center. As you inhale, inflating the lungs, and as you exhale, reducing that connection outward to the inward. Take one more full breath here. And catch behind one leg and then the other, bringing those knees back in towards your chest, lifting your tail. And then let the tail come down. Take your hands to the tops of your knees and thighs and push away till your arms get straight. And lift your feet so you can still see your toes. Now, the higher the feet, the little bit less intense this sometimes feels. As you lower the heels, it might feel like more, but make sure you can see 10 toes above your knee points. Now, this one's simple, but challenging. Pull your knees to your hands, press your hands to your knees. You feel the core light up. You feel the front body. Try not to slouch the shoulders forward, but draw them down your back. You might even lift your ribs and tuck them further underneath you. Wake up your toes, wake up your fingers. And then as you exhale, relax the tension for a moment. Take a deep breath in. And now as you exhale, pull your knees to your hands, press your hands to your knees till the empty of the exhale finishes. And as you breathe in again, relax the tension. And as you exhale, press hands to knees, knees to hands. So you'll quiver and shake with your breath. Relax on the inhale. Think navel to spine as you exhale, keeping that connection down to the floor. Just one more, you've got this. Breath in. Relaxing, and as you breathe out, squeezing knees to hands, hands to knees, like you're trying to glue them together. Now bring the knees into your chest. Stretch your left leg long. Press your left heel down into the floor and flex that foot. Catch behind your right thigh and push up to the ceiling with your right heel. Now let your elbows get straight so your leg gets straighter, almost like it goes straight out of your hip. Now, if that's a lot, you're going to bend the knee a little or a lot, as much as you need, but like you're trying to push your heel through the ceiling. Now, all we're going to change here is you'll tug a little bit on your right leg and lift your left leg off the floor. So the heel will hover a couple inches. Now you can close the scissor legs for a little less intensity or keep them pretty wide open. Now you have the option to just stay here with the breath. Option to take your hands away from the leg and catch your head. And the reason for catching the head is so that you can lift your heart and your head together. Take a breath and lift up. Just breathe here. Steady breath in. Eyes to your toes, breath out. Steady breath in, like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. Pull your left heel a little higher. One more. If the head is lifted, you'll release it to the floor. Catch the thigh, bring the knee in, let the left leg land. And then switch the legs. Right leg out, left knee in. Give it a squeeze to set your hips. Flex your right foot, press down through your right heel. A bend in that knee is fine too, just as long as there's connection to the heel to the floor to start. Catch behind the thigh, push your left heel up, and then straighten at the elbows so the leg moves away from you. So we don't want to hold it in close to the rib. We want to have our core work with gravity to support the leg in the air. Again, staying here, hover your right leg up, maybe a couple inches off the floor. Like a pair of scissors, you're working the inner thighs, hugging into the midline. Midline is where if we cut you in two, you try to glue yourself back together. You hug in. Option to interlock your hands behind your head. Elbows point to the sky. Deep breath in. Lift your head and your heart together. You can look at your right toes if the head is lifted, but then look up to your left toes so the chin stays off your chest. And there's a nice long connection of breath right down to the right heel, up through the left heel, navel to spine as you breathe out. Lift a little higher as you breathe in. Full breath out, one more. Release your head, catch the leg, release your right leg to the floor. Hug both knees in again. And let's rock front to back. So lift your head up, little momentum, bringing energy to the spine from tail to shoulders, shoulders to tail. You'll come all the way up and over onto hands and knees. Coming onto your forearms, and we'll do a little shoulder flossing here to start. So first, let your head go between your wrists, between your forearms. Now, if you let your ribs drop, your head might actually touch the floor, and we want to avoid any pressure on the head. So push down, puff up your back, and then take your eyes between your wrist creases. Let your neck feel long, like a turtle kind of pushing out of its shell. If you want to check the distance between your elbows, you can just wrap your fingers, and if they wrap to the outer edges, you know you have a good distance. Now from here, a little bit of a tuck of the tail. Don't round the lower back, but just feel as though you're pulling up against gravity. Now let your heart slide straight down, shoulder floss, and then press up and widen your scapula as big as you can. And then slide down. Inhale, press into your pinky fingers, into your wrist creases, widen the space between the scapula. Slide down, press up. Slide down, press up. 2 more. And these little scapula push-ups are really great for targeting the small muscles around the scapula, around the shoulder joint. So if you tend to have weakness somewhere here, these are good ones to do without a lot of weight, having the knees down. Now from here, find center and bring your right leg straight back. Press down through your right toes and just hover your left knee for a moment. Now, as you put the left knee back down, push into the knee and the foot, whether the toes are pointed or tucked, and hover your right leg about hip height. Push out through the mound of your foot, spread your toes, then bring your knee into your chest. Exhale, inhale straight back and up. Try not to drop your ribs. Exhale in, inhale back. Now keep going. We do this one for a minute. You can go slow and really precise, or you can start to speed it up as you feel it calls. Just watch you don't lose your form. It's really easy when we go faster that we start to collapse in the lower back. Now with this one, we're doing an exhale in, which is working more of the front body core, and an inhale extension. What we've done in the past is exhale to reach, inhale to come in. What you want to be mindful of when you reverse this breath is that the exhale is perhaps releasing your belly button from your spine. So allowing that, or paying attention to the navel pulling in, is really key. Last 3, 2, and 1. Build a little heat on this cold day and slide back for a moment, full stretch. So hips towards your heels. You can keep the hips high if the knees don't allow, and let your arms release fully. Forehead heavy, elbows on the floor. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And come back up onto the forearms. If it helps to find those little scapula push-ups, take 1 or 2 here just to find the center where you feel strong, connected. Press down through the pinky fingers, press down through the feet, and then stretch your left leg straight back. It's like, which leg are we on? As you press the left leg straight back, press down, hover your right knee, just hold it for a moment. You can lift the foot up too if you want. I'm just connecting the core line. As you put the right knee down, don't collapse onto the knee. Just place it down so you're fully integrated from top to bottom. Crown of the head forward. Hover the left foot about hip height, so where it feels like it is at hip height. Floint or point your toes. Then exhale, knee to chest. Inhale back and up. Think navel to spine. And we just do as many as you can in a minute while maintaining your form. So again, going slow, being consistent, can sometimes be actually harder, a little more challenging. Keep pressing through the right foot as well that's on the floor so you keep the connection of the core line. About halfway here. If you've reversed the breath, you can exhale in, inhale back. Exhale in, inhale, reach. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide back. This time, take the arms by your sides, flip the palms to the sky, let the forehead rest. If this variation doesn't serve, keep the arms out in front. Big breath in, full breath out. Another big breath in, think of the wave in your belly. As you exhale, navel to spine. Slide the hands under the shoulders, roll your spine up, and come back onto your seat. You can sweep the legs to one side or cross them over and lie back down. We do this little flip-flop so that we're balancing front to back to work both sides. Now, this is a leg workout as much as a core, front body. Legs are a big part of our core from our center. Take your feet up, bend at your knees. Now you can here, and we've done this for the last couple weeks, put a little cushion underneath your shoulders or underneath your head, or you can leave your head on the floor. So there's a few different options. The reason for that little support is if we're still building some of the core line, it can feel really supportive to not strain the head and neck. Alternatively, tonight I'm going to do without and just lift the head and the heart with the hand support. That's another option. Just be really mindful you don't tense the neck or the throat too much. So now extend your left leg, pull your right knee in so you get as long as you can. I always think about a superhero about to take off through the ceiling, and then switch your legs. And if you want to add the opposite elbow to the opposite knee, keep going like that for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 25, 10. Keep going or break if you need to. 7, 6, 5, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to pause at 50. Take the feet to the floor, hands to your belly. Deep breath in. And a hum. Reconnecting the lines. So whether your head and heart stayed on the floor and you're simply stretching out the muscles of the legs, you're engaging the core, and you can even touch your fingers into this soft part of your abdomen while you do that. You'll feel that connection. If you feel your lower back arcing away, You can put a little bit of a cushion under your tail to help, but if anything, just think about drawing your tail slightly down, mostly navel to spine. All right, second round of 50. Take the legs up, bend at the knees. Let's start with the left knee and right leg out. Option to lift the head and the heart. Option to cushion it under a pillow and just alternate the legs. Be really extending. So your superhero here, reaching up, jumping, leaping off a tall building, elbow to knee. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 more. If you're really feeling it, do your best. Breathe through. 25 and then 25 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Pull the knee in. 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Do what you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 5. And 1. Rest the head. Hum or sigh. Whew, made that really hot tonight for me. Hopefully you feel the warmth as well. Take your hands to interlock. Press up to the sky. Let the arms drop back into your shoulder sockets and then reach the hands above the head behind you. Option here now to stretch your legs as well. Deep breath in. Stretch the left side longer than the right. Breath out. Deep breath in. Stretch the right side longer than the left. Back to center. Release the hands. Hug the knees into the chest. And then rock yourself to the side or all the way up and over onto your front body. Now we're going to come right over to front body. And as you lie down, place your forehead on the floor, your hands like a little cobra. They can be forearms or palms. Stretch out through the legs. Lift the heart and the head just a little off the mat. Wiggle out of your weight, so get nice and long so if that front body felt tight or shortened. And then release down. Bend your right knee. Catch your right foot. If the foot is far, grab a strap and put it over your shoulder. Now extend your left arm forward. And as you extend that left arm, you start to kick your foot into your hand and let your head and your heart lift into a half bow. It's a nice little stretch for the front body after that core work. A little bit of a back bend, but nothing too intense. Hug your right knee in towards center, towards the midline. And then release all the way down. Switch the arms, so right arm forward, bend the left knee. Let the right leg get straight, press down through the top of the foot. Kick your left foot into your hand, lifting head and heart as you kick back. The right hand here to stabilize, to support. You don't have to put much weight into it, but it's there to almost tug the floor towards you to give you that heart a bit of a lift. Now release all the way down. Switch it again, left arm out, bend the right knee. Kick the foot into your hand, lift the heart up. Now this time, you're gonna bend at the elbow, rest your forehead and relax the knee so that the heel pulls in towards your backside for a quad stretch. So if you have a strap and it's over the shoulder, you can just hold it here. And you're hugging the foot in towards your backside. So if knees are
problematic. It gives you space. You don't have to force this pressure. You're just seeing what's possible. And if anything, press your pelvis down into the floor just a little, and you'll feel that front body or the front quadricep, the thickness of that quad muscle to open. Lots of breath. Now release the foot. Start on the other side, right arm out. Reach back, catch your left foot, go up first. Actively lift and then lowering. I like to fold the arm to rest the forehead. You can also let the head rest on the ground and then let your heel come in towards your backside. Now, if you feel like the knee went wide, walk it in, keeping the knees nice and close. Your right foot is pressing down so the right knee is lifted. There's length on the right side of your waist. If the foot is pulling out to the left, tug it in towards center. And now you'll release that foot. You'll take your hands underneath your shoulders for a moment, back to a cobra setup, but you'll extend your right arm straight out and we'll roll into a half scorpion here. So as you roll, I like to roll the forehead, but you can pick up and place the right ear down and bend your left knee and reach the foot up and back behind you. It's a nice pectoral front body stretch. If there's any pressure in the lower back, bring your left foot closer to your right leg. Deep breath in, full breath out. And gradually unwind, come back to center. Switch the sides, so forehead straight down, left arm reaches out. Right hand under your shoulder, bend your right knee and roll open, walking your left arm away from you. Always remembering that anything that doesn't feel good is not worth forcing. So micro adjusting, not to escape the stretch, but to enhance the experience of what you're feeling. That can be an interesting thing to manage within ourselves, is to push ourselves or butt ourselves up against a challenge to see the opportunity. Gradually unwind. As you come back through center, bring the hands under the shoulders. Take a little baby cobra here, just a subtle lift. Think long more than high. As you release down, tuck your toes. Press up and back, nice long puppy dog stretch. Let the forehead kiss the mat, wiggle out of your hips a little side to side. Feel the sides of the waist and the underarms get long. And then come all the way up onto all fours, walk your knees forward and into a seated position. Now at this seat, we'll take the right leg in front of the left and you'll take eagle arms. So right arm underneath your left and then catch the opposite hand if it's available. Otherwise, so if this is a tight space for your shoulders, the backs of the hands create a little V shape here, and that's okay to stay here. And when you can, you'll bring that right hand close to the face and then walk it up the palm. Now what we'll do here is a little bit of upper back, neck, and shoulder release. So hang on to that eagle arm. And I want you to take your chin towards your chest and let your fingertips fall forward with gravity, like someone hung a heavy weight off your fingertips or your wrists. Now start to round the upper back here. So like gravity is just pulling down. And then press into the sitting bones, into your feet, and roll your way up. The weight's been released. You'll reach your fingertips towards the ceiling. Maybe even slightly over the head. The chin can lift if it feels okay. Otherwise, keep it tucked and reach, reach, reach. And then exhale down slowly. A little rounding of the upper back here. And one more all the way up. And then coming down. Now this time, keep the spine tall. Let the arms come down. Let them hang out in front of you. Keep a little hook of the elbow. Or if the hands are apart, there's still a connection at your elbow. That's pretty key here. Take your right ear to your right shoulder. Now keep your lips sealed, but move your jaw a little side to side, like you're like a cow chewing on grass or a horse chewing on grass. They grind the teeth side to side in a really relaxed fashion. And then let the jaw drop. Pull the chin slightly down towards your right shoulder. Breathe deeply here. Now you'll keep the head, but release the arms. And as you release the arms, let the fingertips land by your sides. Tilt your chin slightly forward, keeping the right ear to the right shoulder in that direction. Tall in your spine, try not to drop your shoulder. Option now to take your right hand all the way up and catch the outer ear of the left side. And just the weight of your hand, let your right shoulder drop and give a little tug on your fingers to lengthen your neck. Walk your left fingers away from you along the floor like a little spider walking away from your hip. Then you'll release your right hand, leave your head where it is. Lean your heart forward and naturally the head will release back to center. Now just sit tall here with your eyes closed, hands to your lap. Take a deep breath in and a sigh. And another deep breath in and a sigh. Switch the cross of your legs, left leg in front, eagle arms the other side, so left arm underneath. As the left arm comes underneath, you'll see if the backs of the hands get close, you'll catch that upper thumb. If it's not, just keep it here, even hold the shoulders, but your elbows go up, 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 and then just pull down and take your chin towards your chest. And as your chin comes in, the first one is a deep rounding. So you're letting your tail tuck slightly under, let your hands fall forward heavy. And you feel what you feel across the front, the back of the shoulders. Inhale, start to rise from your tail through your spine, up through your fingertips. You might even lift your head. And on the exhalation, it's a slow, steady breath out. Think down to the upper back rounding, chin to chest, head heavy, hands forward, bit of a weight off your fingertips. And one more going up as you breathe in. And at the very top, feel the pause and that change coming down. Keep the spine tall this time. And take your left ear to your left shoulder. Let there be weight to the hands with gravity here, falling away from you. Still a hook at the elbows regardless. So even if you're holding the shoulders, the elbows are heavy. Move the jaw a little side to side, keeping the lips sealed. Releasing the arms gradually. Keep your head where it is. Eyes closed, fingertips by your sides. Draw the chin down slightly, feeling a deeper stretch through the neck muscles on the right side. Notice how often you pick up that bottom jaw. Relax it. Take your left hand up and over. Catch just behind the ear with your finger pads. And then relax your left shoulder down. Just a little tug here to lengthen. Lift the chin subtly forward, feeling for that opening. And then walk your right fingers away from you along the mat. From here, you'll release the hand, keep the head where it is. Lean your heart forward, let your head naturally come back towards center. Sit tall, hands to your lap, deep breath in. Sigh it out. You'll take your fingers and you'll tack onto the front of your chest here. And as you tack down just under your collarbones, try to hold the skin down and then pull your chin up to the sky. When your bottom lip stays glued to your top lip, shoulders shrug down your back, deep breath in. Full breath out through the nose. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Lean your heart forward. Let your head topple in that direction. Sit tall. Let the chin come towards your chest. Switch the cross of your legs. Take your hands to cup the back of your neck and then slide up until your pinky finger side of the hand hits the skull and that occipital ridge and pull forward and up. Stay resistant in the spine, nice and tall. Feel the chin press gently down towards the chest. Let your elbows go heavy and breathe here. This really strong breath of Ujjayi. Good. And this one, start to end with a rounding further of your upper back, then your middle back, and just let the weight of your hands gently tug forward until you release your grip. Catch your knees. Take one hand to your forehead and gently help lift the head and the heart back up to center.
You might feel a rush of blood flow down the back of the neck, hands to your lap, deep breath in, full breath out. Now, if you have a bolster, pillow, or cushion to lean on, you can grab it here. You'll swing both legs around to one side to your little running man position here. Looks like from the side we're going for a jog. Your shin matches the top edge of your mat, your thigh, the long edge. The back leg aligns with the front leg, and then the shin along the far line. Now this will pull the right hip forward. And if you have a bolster or a block, lay it down in front of you. Then you have something to lean into. If you have a block, just let it be a useful tool for your head to stay level with your heart. So you can get low or stay high on the high setting. Now, as you relax into this, I truly want you to scan where's the holding? Is it in the center of your heart? Is there something blocking the flow? Is there an ability to drop the armor? Allow the rib cage to soften, to lean in just a little further. Relax the shoulders, let the elbows go wider. These will take these subtle changes in your position to keep letting the weight of your ribs fall heavy towards your thigh. You may realign your ribs closer towards center as space allows. You may change the height of your block 2 or 3 times throughout the single pose. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here, nice and long, really full. Take navel to spine, but not in a way that causes tension elsewhere in the body. Let this start to drift into a longer, slower facet. A place of nurturing the mind and the body. And you'll gradually and really slowly climb your way back up. Take a moment as the blood flow realigns. You can either sweep your legs all the way around in front or simply rotate to the other side, depending on the position of your mat. I'm going to switch my legs tonight. So facing forward, right leg is now in front, left heel along that far edge. And this deer position, similar to half pigeon, but you want to now pull, let the right hip land and let the left hip roll forward. And again, if you have something to lean on, cushions, pillows, grab it here, maybe start high. You'll be surprised how quickly over time the body starts to remember this position and continues to go, oh yeah, let's relax into this. There's a memory of release, of ease. Allow yourself to move a little, fidget, and then settle.
Let there be weight in your forehead wherever it lands so that there's a connection point. The mind flooding with fresh ideas, cleansing old ways of thinking. When the world feels heavy and there's a lot occurring and it's hard to figure out how to support or do something, often the best thing to do is connect more deeply to yourself in a way that nurtures that part of you that can think more clearly when settled. From that place, you share your ideas, your expressions, more wholesome, more connected to the core of who you are. Go to that place within you that knows where the breath finds a rhythm and nurtures your mind, body, spirit. And gradually start to lift yourself back up. Go slow, because when we're anywhere for a long time, we want to come out with the same integrity and mindful pattern. And you'll gradually release your legs, bring them around in front. And I'd suggest if you have a piece of furniture nearby where you are, we're going to do a legs up the wall or legs over a piece of furniture or waterfall if you don't have any of those. And so you'll come in nice and snug to the wall or the piece of furniture. And as you lie back, turning your torso, I just find widening the arms helps. And then stretch your legs up and let your heels land. We'll do a little extra long waterfall here. So if at any time you feel the need to come down, you can just roll onto one side and let the blood flow acclimatize within the body. Because right now with gravity, we're helping. Of course, blood flow still moves up and down, but when we're flipped, it works in a different capacity. So the venous blood in the lower body gets filtered back in through the heart, more oxygen filters through, and then we cleanse by reacclimatizing to neutral. But we'll stay a little extra longer tonight. You can let your hands rest on your torso, let your jaw drop, let your shoulders fall back. If ever you're feeling low energy or needing a reset, this is the best way to reset in your day. Sometimes just 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of this, and you'll feel like a whole new person. Maybe you didn't sleep well the night before. Doing this just gives us a fresh perspective, a new, clear outlook.
Let the breath begin to dissipate. You don't have to force it. Every now and again, take a really full breath. Keep you awake and aware of where you are. Just on the edge of deep, full rest. Another minute here. If you can stay, stay. If it's feeling like you need to come down when you're ready. And if your legs are still lifted, slowly bring the knees towards your chest. Roll onto your right side. Pause on your side, cradle your head in your arm for a moment. Make yourself into Shavasana position. Take yourself there so that the blood flow now acclimatizes top to bottom. If you're cool in your space, add a blanket or extra layers. Let your hands rest on your torso. Let your feet fall apart. Take a sigh of settling. Now allow the messages of your practice to come forward. For a long time, I'd have teachers say this at the end of practice, and I might sit with a blank screen of unknowings or unknowns or curiosity or wonderings. And when you're willing to just allow whatever comes up to come up, it might be someone, something you need to do or see or say, and just follow it for a moment. Let your mind run down the track and then just simply watch it. You're not along for the ride, you're simply seeing what occurs. When we start to see how our mind moves, only then can we start to steer it in a new direction. Gradually, from wherever you are, take a check-in breath. A sigh to stay, or to start to move again. And gradually finding your way to your side. And eventually back up to a tall seat. Bringing your hands to heart center to honor the work you put in. Might seem so long ago now, but also the work you put in to rest, to deep release, not only for your body, but for your mind. Bow inward. Namaste. Thank you as always for joining me.